Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our community of creatives and dreamers. Today, I want to share a story, a personal one, that completely shifted my perspective on creativity, effort, and what success truly means. It's about a rose, a canvas, and a whole lot of frustration. When I was first starting out, I had this burning desire to be a great painter. Not just good, but great asterisk. I pictured myself in a studio, surrounded by masterpieces, admired by all. And like many aspiring artists, I decided my first big project would be something classic. Something beautiful. A rose. Sounds simple, right? A timeless subject, full of delicate petals and rich colors. I thought, if I could just perfectly capture the essence of a rose, I'd be on my way. So, I dove in. I didn't just buy any brushes. I invested in the best, the most expensive ones I could find. Sable hairs, ergonomic handles. I truly believed these tools would magically imbue my work with greatness. I set up my easel, bought the finest canvas, and even got a real, live rose to observe. I was determined to paint the perfect rose, a rose that would make people gasp, a rose that would be indistinguishable from a photograph. My process was meticulous, almost clinical. I spent hours mixing paint, trying to get that exact shade of crimson, the one that perfectly mimicked the velvety petals of my subject. I studied every shadow, every curve, every tiny dewdrop. I meticulously copied each detail, stroke by painstaking stroke. I layered the paint, trying to achieve the subtle transitions in color and light. I was so focused, so obsessed with replication, that I barely breathed. But as I painted, something felt off. The more I tried to make it perfect, the more it seemed to lose something. When I finally stepped back, exhausted but hopeful, to admire my almost finished masterpiece, what I saw wasn't the vibrant, living rose I had imagined. It looked stiff, flat, dead. It was technically accurate. Yes, every petal was in place, every shadow rendered, but it lacked life. It lacked soul. It was a perfect copy, but it wasn't art. I was crushed. All that effort, all that expensive equipment, all those hours, and for what? A perfect, lifeless imitation. But I'm nothing if not persistent. So, I tried again. New canvas, new rose. This time, I thought, I'd be even more precise. I'd correct every perceived flaw from the first attempt. I pushed myself harder, scrutinizing every tiny detail even more. I spent another agonizing day, trying to force the life onto the canvas, trying to make it perfect by sheer force of will. The result, another failure. Perhaps even worse than the first. It was technically competent, perhaps, but even more devoid of spirit. It felt like I was painting a taxidermied flower. My perfectionism was suffocating the very essence of what I was trying to create. I was so fixated on achieving an idealized version that I completely forgot about the feeling, the emotion, the vibrancy that first drew me to the subject. My hands were shaking with frustration, and my mind was a whirlwind of in a fit of pure, unadulterated frustration. I grabbed a palette knife, not to blend, not to sculpt, but just to express my anger. I scraped it across the canvas, a violent, rebellious gesture. It wasn't intentional art. It was a pure release of pent-up disappointment. The sharp edge of the knife tore through the layers of carefully mixed crimson and the surrounding greens I had painstakingly painted for the leaves and stem. It left an angry, messy smear of red and green, a chaotic clash of colors where my perfect rose once stood. It was an ugly, accidental scar on what I had hoped would be a beautiful painting. I just stared at it, defeated. Well, I thought, that's definitely ruined. Just then, my friend, also an artist, walked into my studio. He was visiting, and I'd completely forgotten he was coming over. He took one look at my easel, at my two perfect but lifeless roses, and then his eyes landed on the third canvas, the one with the violent smear. He didn't say anything about my hours of careful work. He didn't acknowledge the technically proficient but emotionally bankrupt attempts. He completely ignored them. His gaze was fixed solely on the mess, the accidental splash of color and texture. He just stood there, staring intently at it. After a long moment, he let out a soft, almost reverent whisper. "Wow." I was dumbfounded. "Wow, what are you talking about?" I muttered, feeling utterly foolish. "It's a mistake. I ruined it. I was so angry. I just, I just scraped it." I expected him to laugh, or at least offer some sympathetic, condescending critique. But he didn't. He turned to me, his eyes wide with genuine intrigue. "A mistake," he repeated, a slight smile playing on his lips. "I don't see a mistake. I see a wildfire, a burst of uncontrolled energy. It feels alive. It has passion, movement. It tells a story." His words hit me like a splash of cold water. A wildfire. Alive. I looked back at the smear, at the accidental blend of red and green, and suddenly, I saw it differently. Not as a ruined rose, but as something else entirely. Something dynamic, something raw and untamed. It wasn't perfect, not in the way I had been striving for, but it had a vitality that my other paintings completely lacked. It had an energy, a story, a feeling. That was the moment. That was the profound realization that washed over me, clear as day. One had been so utterly focused on being perfect, on meticulously copying reality, on meeting some external, idealized standard, that I had completely forgotten to be real. I forgot to put myself into the work. I forgot to feel my perfect roses were just echoes. But that accidental smear, born of frustration, was an authentic expression. It was me, in that moment, pouring out genuine emotion, albeit negative. And yet, it resonated. It spoke. This isn't just about painting. This lesson applies to so many aspects of our lives, especially our creative pursuits, our businesses, our relationships. How often do we get caught up in chasing an idea of perfection? We spend endless hours trying to craft the flawless presentation, write the impeccable email, create the ideal product, or curate the perfect social media feed. We believe that if it's not perfect, it's not good enough. But often, our best work, our most impactful creations, the things that truly resonate with people, aren't the ones we meticulously planned and polished until every perceived flaw was erased. They're the ones that come from a place of authenticity, vulnerability, and sometimes, even raw emotion. They're the things that are a little messy, a little unconventional, a little real. Think about it. The stories that move us the most usually involve struggle, imperfection, and growth. The art that truly speaks to our souls often has an edge, a rawness that perfection can sometimes smooth away. The most innovative ideas often come from moments of accidental discovery or even failure. That mistake might just be the breakthrough you needed. So, what did I learn from that angry smear of paint? I learned that true beauty isn't always found in flawless execution. It's often found in the genuine expression, in the courage to be imperfect, in the willingness to let go of control and simply feel. Our best work is meticulously planned, or what we meticulously planned, or what we thought it should be. It's just what we felt, what we genuinely poured ourselves into, even if it feels a little chaotic or unfinished to us. It's the authentic heartbeat of our efforts. Embrace the mistakes. Embrace the unexpected turns. Those are often where the magic happens, where the real stories emerge, and where our unique voice truly shines through. Don't let the pursuit of perfection stifle your authenticity. Let your passion, your feelings, and yes, even your frustrations, guide your hands. Because sometimes, a wildfire is far more captivating than a perfectly rendered, lifeless rose. What's a time you accidentally created something amazing, or learned a powerful lesson from a mistake? Share your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. If this resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more content like this, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, stay real, stay creative. See you next time.